Generation 4. Let's get the most expensive versions of every Pokemon card added to our insane binder. We have already added generations 1, 2 and 3 to this enormous binder, and by adding the most expensive Pokemon card for each Pokemon in National Dex so far, we have a grand total of £67,230.03. This is enormous.
That's a huge.
And way more than I originally thought it was going to be. And we still have 6 generations to go. So just how expensive this binder going to get? You're going to have to subscribe and keep watching the series to find out. I do though have a few things to clear up from the last video. I said that Sylveon was a Gen 4 Pokemon. And yeah, I could make mistakes that I was trying to rush the video. Work has been really busy, so my head's not really been 100% in the game. But it was a stupid mistake, and I apologise to all the loyal Sylveon fans out there that quite rightly let me know in the comments. Secondly, yeah, this was the wrong Deoxys card. It should have actually been this one. So again, sorry, and I'm hoping there'll be no mistakes in this video, but I can't promise anything. Okay, Gen 4, 107 Pokemon. Some absolutely fantastic favourites coming up. Lucario, Garchomp, Bidoof, Luxray, Licky. Okay, maybe some absolute duds as well, but Pokemon are Pokemon. Here are the rules we've been using for this series so far. Raw cards only, English cards only, and all prices taken from the Collector app, to make things a little bit more straightforward on my side. This also does explain why some cards haven't been featured. In previous videos, people have mentioned cards like the Primal Kyogre Art Academy cards, which only have 100 in existence. So it's super hard to get an understanding for how much they are valued. And you know, just keeping Collector makes it a bit more simple and straightforward. But maybe in the future, I'll put a lot of research into a video to do the rarest card for each Pokemon. Let's begin with Pokemon number 287, Turtwig. And we start out with a bit of an obscure card. This is the Turtwig card. But you see that weird symbol? What is that? Oh, it's a snowflake. Because this card comes from the 2008 Countdown Calendar promotion, an advent calendar released in Canada, Germany, the Netherlands and Belgium, and only at selected Toys R Us outlets. Each of the 24 cards in the set came with a stamped snowflake, 23 of them being gold, and a special Pikachu card that has a silver one. But this isn't about you, Pikachu. We start out our world's most expensive National Dex binder for Generation 4 with a value for Turtwig of £28.05. Grottle gives us this lovely £6.32 card from Temporal Forces, a bit of a slept-on set in my non-professional opinion. Torterra has its first appearance in card form as its most expensive, the Diamond and Pearl card from 2007. Chimchar has this £16.66 card from the same set as Turtwig with the Countdown Calendar promo, followed by another promo from Inferno with this £5.70 Burger King promo from 2008. See, look, it even has its own flame-grilled marks on the cards.
At Burger King, we flame grill our
Monferno.
Why? Because that's how it should be done.
Infernape has his £81.68 card from the Rising Rival series from 2009. And then Piplup gives us our most expensive card so far, with this Tag Team card from Cosmic Eclipse, with the value of £208.70. The prices on some of these Tag Team cards are huge. They are so popular with collectors, and I get why. The art is really nice. And we might be coming back to this set later on. Prinplup gives us another middle stage evolution from the Burger King promo line, which was released as a set of 12 cards in 2008. This card comes to us from the price of half a Whopper meal. But honestly, Burger King is probably some of the worst fast food going. It's got nothing on my beloved Popeyes. Empoleon has the secret rare card from Plasma Freeze at £115.05. Our first Plasma Freeze card in the binder, and also the 6th most expensive card from the entire Plasma Freeze set. Weirdly, this Ultra Ball is the most expensive card from Plasma Freeze at over £600. Does anyone know why? So that's the starter trio and their evolution's done, but how do they rank against the other 3 generations so far? Generation 4 has the cheapest generation of starters thus far, not too far off a third place Gen 2, but way out in front is Gen 3 and Gen 1, and I don't see any way this will be beaten. And if you want to check out these cards, or any others from the generations before, click the link above for the playlist. Back to Gen 4 though, our Route 201 bird Pokemon Starly gets this lovely Scarlet and Violet base set card for £4.39. The base set of Scarlet and Violet is actually a super affordable master set if anyone's interested. I'm working on it in the background of 151, which I've only got about 25 cards left. So it's very slowly making its way up, due to limited funds. Because, and say it with me kids, mortgage, bills, epileptic dog. Staravia comes to us from Pop Series 6, but unlike some of the insane cards before from these pop sets, this one is a cool £9.33. Staraptor finishes off the evolution line with this Supreme Victus card for £37.53. And if you're wondering what that FB stands for in its name, that stands for Frontier Brain. A Pokemon trainer who resides over the Battle Frontier facilities in Emerald, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and Platinum. Everyone's favourite HM slave Bidoof gets this huge £226.86 card of Special Delivery Bidoof. A Sword and Shield promo card in the same vein as Special Delivery Pikachu and Charizard. And I know I'd much prefer Bidoof delivering my Amazon Prime packs than my current driver who thinks parcel delivery means throw parcel over fence or leave in front of my door without knocking. Charmer. Bibarel has this funky looking card from a 2009 promo set for the Wii game Pokémon Rumble. A 16 card set featuring the sprites lifted from the game. I never got to play this game because honestly, it looked like garbage and was only available on the Wii store. And by 2009, the novelty of Wii Sports had well and truly worn off, and the Wii had been banished to the shelves of CEX. Cricketop has another countdown calendar promo, and its evolved form Cricketune has a very cheap Silver Tempest card from the Trainer Gallery. Our first card from the Silver Tempest set proper, after we saw the Curlier promo previously. Shinx has got this shiny Platinum Arceus reverse holo card for £68.53. Luxio gives us a huge Nintendo Star pre-release card with a value of £169.44. Let's get that into our most expensive National Dex. Luxray has an even more valuable card with this League and Championship card for £195.68. Badoo has this Yukimori card from Stormfront with a value of £11.62. Another first for the binder, and a very popular Pokemon artist as we've discussed before. Roserade comes to us from Dragons Exalted, and in return we must hand over £20.90. Cranidos has this little Diamond and Pearl promo to add to the binder, along with the evolved form Rampardos from Platinum, a set released in 2009. Shieldon is another Diamond and Pearl promo, followed by Bastiodon from Rumble. The Fossil Guy is an odd looking Pokemon at the best of times, and this card really doesn't capture his best side. But then again, I don't think any of the Rumble cards do any of the Pokemon justice. Burmy is a surprisingly expensive card with another Countdown Calendar promo card for £44.16, followed by what has to be one of the cheapest pop cards to date, a Wormadam for £2.19. Mothrim is another Diamond and Pearl promo, our third of the generation so far. Combi is in our fifth Countdown Calendar promo for £27.79. Another set I'd never heard of before starting these video series, but another fun find. Vespiquen gives us another Stormfront card for £1.93. £1.93 as the most expensive version. Any Vespiquen Master Set collectors out there? You could pick up an entire English set for roughly £10 according to Collector. What would you rather have? Flame Grill Flip Flop or a Vespiquen Master Set? Pachirisu and Buizel both come to our binder from the Supreme Victor set. Floatzel is another Countdown Calendar promo, and the most expensive so far for £59.07. Truby from Platinum Arceus, and another Rumble card this time for Cherim join the binder. Shellos is another staff card, but a new promo for the binder with this 2008 Origins Game Fair card. It's a wargaming / tabletop board game and trading card expo which is held in Columbus, Ohio. Gastrodon has its most expensive card as this Secret Wonder card for £6.80. Ambipom has a £2.36 Majestic Dawn card, followed by the balloon Pokemon of Drifloon and Drifblim from Stormfront and Scarlet and Violet promos respectively. Baneri has this very happy little card from Supreme Victors before it evolves into this huge Lopunny card. And it's actually a card we've seen before. Well, you would have seen it if you watched our first part of the world's most expensive National Dex. It's the Lopunny and Jigglypuff card from Cosmic Eclipse. And since making that video, the card has gone up in price almost 30%, now standing at £126.27. Quick edit, yeah, it's now skyrocketing towards £150 since I wrote the script. I told you, these tag team cards are shooting up in value. Pokemon 429, Miss Magius, joins the binder with this Rising Rivals card, followed by this Haunch Crow from Secret Wonders. Glameow gives us another Countdown Calendar promo. Perugly then joins from Diamond and Pearl, one of only 11 cards printed for this fat feline. Chingling and Stunky both come in from Calendar Countdown promo set. We must have added like half the cards at this point. This Stunky card is actually the same common card from the Diamond and Pearl set, but add this little gold snowflake and boom, 15 times value added. Skuntank has this Pokemon Rumble card. Bronzor has this illustration rare from Temporal Forces, and Bronzong gets this Staff XY promo card, another cool as hell stamp card. Bonsley is up next, and guess how many Bonsley cards have been printed in English for this little guy? 2. Yep, just 2. Now, looking at these two, which of these do you think is the most valuable? Yeah, it's Butthole Bonsley. I know it's meant to be a drainage hole because he's a plant in a pot, but honestly, we didn't need to see this. Mime Jr. gets added to the binder with this Diamond and Pearl promo, followed by our most valuable Countdown Calendar promo, Happiny, the baby version of Chansey, and this very niche card goes for a huge £129.22. Again, this is the common version of the card from Mystery Treasures. Is that snowflake literally made of gold? Chatot gets another Diamond and Pearl promo card, before we add Spiritomb from Legends Awakened. The Gibble line is up next, and we have a lovely League and Championship promo from the 2009-2010 era for £38.76. Evolving into Gabite for Pokemon number 444, and we get another League and Championship staff card, also from 2009-2010. Will Garchomp make it a full house? Well, no, but we do get this card from Plasma Freeze. A card that has doubled in value in the last few months, and to me it seems like a weird card to manipulate the market on, but I'm not going to sit here and act like I know why these older cards go up and down, besides this Pokemon bubble which is continuing to grow. But remember, every bubble has to burst eventually. Munchlax gets its card in our binder from Rising Rivals, and looks pretty happy to do so. Then we have this Riolu. You know, a common card from Platinum. But wait a second, let's try something here. Ah, there we go. Much better. A nice new stamp. But not just any stamp. A Staff San Diego Comic-Con stamp. So let's just update that price and yep, there we go. £885.36. The most expensive Generation 4 Pokemon card. I bet you didn't see that coming. If we compare this to the generation so far, it's following the same trend as the starters, as this Riolu card is the cheapest, most expensive card so far. But then saying that, it's probably the least readily available card. I can't imagine too many of these limited staff cards were printed, much like the Professor Program Voltorb from Gen 1. This is a card that if you are really lucky to be working at that event and get one of these cards, you either put it away as a nice memento of the day, or as something that you can pass on to your kids or sell later on once the value has gone through the roof. So this is probably one to keep an eye on. And just to say for legal purposes, that is not investment advice. My investment advice would never be Pokemon cards. Lucario comes down to earth a little bit though, with this Rumble card, which has to be the least menacing version of Lucario out there. This little hippo guy is a super budget friendly card for our most expensive binder, from Diamond and Pearl. Then we have Hippowdon,
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Why are these hippo Pokemon really odd to pronounce? But anyway, Hippowdon, maybe, comes to us from Rising Rivals for £18.54. Skorupi is another Countdown promo, and Drapion comes to us from Platinum for £16.21. Krogunk from Pop comes to our binder before we add Toxicroak Diamond and Pearl promo card. Carnivine is another Pop series card, followed by a very cheap Finneon and Luminion card set. Luminion in particular from Brilliant Stars is a really nice underwater coral card. Paradox Rift gives us this adorable Mantite card for £11.41, followed by our final 3 Countdown Calendar promo cards, Snova, Abomasnow and Weevil. Out of the total 24 cards of that set, we have added 14 of them to our binder. I've got to imagine that is the highest percentage of a certain set we'll have going forward. Magnezone comes in as number 462, from Legends Awakened, followed by one of the most unimaginative and forgettable Pokemon in the entire Pokedex, Licky Licky. If you are that one Licky Licky fan, please question your actions that got you to this point in your life. Anyway, it gets the Secret Wonder card for £5.48, so at least you won't break the bank loving this terrible Pokemon. Rhyperior gets a Legend Awaken card, followed by Tangrowth with this Platinum Arceus card. Electivire gets a throwback early 2000 style CGI card for League and Championship and goes for £55.37. Following it up with our final Generation 1 evolution, Magmortar, who gets a Mysterious Treasures card for £28.48. Before Togekiss gets a Prize Pack Series 1 card for £40.70. Destined Rivals brings its first card to the binder with the most expensive Yanmega card. Before we hit this generation's evolutions, Leafeon and Glaceon. Not being a huge evolution fan, I've always seen these two as like the least popular. You see all the other versions have like really popular cards, Umbreon, you know, that other Generation 4 Pokemon, Sylveon, the Gen 1 version's getting a bit of nostalgic love, and Espeon has a lot of fans as well, but am I wrong in saying that these two sit at the bottom of the Eevee pile? Leafeon really only has two options for its most expensive card, the Evolving Skies VMAX or the Prismatic Evolution Leafeon EX. But which one will come out on top? Put your guesses in the comments. The Prismatic Evolution's EX special illustration has a current collector value of £185.31, but with a value of £285.60, the Evolving Skies version wins out this time. So this giant size evolution will have to squeeze into our binder. For Glaceon, we have the same battle. Evolving Skies, Prismatic Evolutions. Evolving Skies, Prismatic Evolutions. Evolving Skies, Prismatic, Evolving, Prismatic. But Evolving Skies is going to win out again, 2-0 to reclaim all the championship belts. A point decision TKO for the ages. That's right, folks, I don't understand the rules of boxing. So, two mega-sized evolutions into the binder. And much like the starters, these two are also the least expensive of all the evolutions to date, despite both being from one of the most inflated sets in Pokemon TCG history. Glysaur joins the binder from the Legends Awakened set, released in 2008, and from the same set we can add this Mamoswine card for £6.23. Porygon Z, one of only two Pokemon to not appear in the mainline anime series, does appear in this binder though, with this Staff pre-release black and white promo card for £54.61. Gallade has this Roaring Skies card for £44.51, followed quickly by Probopass with another black and white promo card for just £3.12. Dusknoir gets this secret rare from Plasma Blast. Much like the Garchomp before, it has had quite an increase in the recent months. Frostlass gets this Twilight Masquerade Staff card for £17.90. Then Rotom, with an astonishing 57 English release cards to account for all its multiple different forms, gets this Wash Rotom Staff promo card from Sun and Moon for £25.64. And that is definitely the cheapest I've ever seen a washing machine. Next up, the Late Guardians, Uxie, Mesprit and Azelf. Let's start by dropping some knowledge with Uxie. And we can add to the binder this Uxie Level X from Legends Awakened for £68.67. Next up, let's see what kind of emotions this Mesprit card evokes. We have another Legends Awakened card, a Mesprit Level X for £39.48. And finally, thank you for getting this far in the video and having the willpower to resist clicking away. With that, Azelf comes to our binder with, you guessed it, another Legends Awakened Level X card for £27.50, our cheapest and final Late Guardian. Shall we move on to some big boy legendaries though? And it's about time we go to Dialga. This legendary Pokemon has some fantastic cards to its name. The Origin Form Dialga V-Star from Crown Zenith, the Dialga EX from Plasma Blast, and the legendary trifecta of Arceus, Dialga and Palkia, which came so close to claiming the top spot. But that honour goes to the Dialga EX Secret Rare from the X and Y set Phantom Forces, released in 2014. This monochrome style cards are starting to appear in more recent sets, for example the highly sought after Victini Red Monochrome from White Flare and Black Bolt, with a value of £299.89. How will Palkia fare though? Let's check the next space in this binder. Again, similar sets appear when looking at Palkia, which makes sense being paired with Dialga, but it's a card we've actually already spoken about that takes the top spot, with the statue artwork on this Arceus, Dialga and Palkia GX card from Cosmic Eclipse that takes the crown. A collector value of £286.82, starting to add some serious legendary value to this binder. Heatran ironically has this EX card from the Plasma Freeze set as its most expensive for our binder, with a value of £72, bringing heat at least in a monetary sense. Our normal type legendary, Regigigas, gives us this next Destiny's card with a value of £46.96. Giratina's card will be a very familiar one to those who have been collecting Pokemon since the COVID pandemic with our first huge uplift in prices, as our Giratina card is the ultra rare Giratina V from Lost Origin. A beautiful artwork on this card by artist Shinji Kanda. They also drew the Magikarp card from Paldea Evolved and the Seismitoad card from Black Bolt, which has been under the microscope recently for allegedly containing a 666 on the cards. And as expected, people are inflating the price of this card immediately, as the printing may change, so having a chance to own this card, which will go out of print or will change, people are trying to FOMO the hell out of it and uplift the prices. But guys, don't be sucked in with these things. Honestly, please don't. This Darkrai and Cresselia card from the Triumphant set has a value of £73.15. And the fact that it doesn't even have Cresselia on it, I feel a little bit ripped off. The other half of this card is about 20 quid cheaper, and that's the half that contains the actual Pokemon. It's a super weird concept. And now it's time for two Pokemon who I again completely forgot existed, with Fion? It's definitely maybe one of those pronunciations. But our most expensive card for this Pokemon is this Sun and Moon promo card, followed up closely with this Manaphy XY promo card, which wouldn't be out of place in the Crown Zenith Galarian Gallery. Darkrai gets this Dark Explorer's full art, bringing some big value as we near the end of this generation, with a value of £310.45. Shaymin has this card with some fantastic art, including a big old Rayquaza in the background, and you can pick this up, according to Collector, for £73.45. Now let's check in on Poké God, Arceus himself. All hail, all hail. And befitting of his glory, we have another copy of the Cosmic Eclipse Trio GX card. Honestly, I think this is one of my ultimate grail cards. I love the art of it so much. One of my others is also that Moltres Zapdos Articuno GX card, the stained glass art one. It's so lovely. I don't know what it is about me liking cards that have 3 Pokemon on them. So that's it. We have now added 107 additional cards to our world's most expensive National Dex binder. But how much value have we added? Let me know what you think we're up to so far, or if you've been keeping count along, well done. And hey, while you're down there, again, remember there's that little subscribe button. It would really help out if you just pressed it for me. So, Generation 4, our grand total is £6,208.39. It's not too bad. It gives us an average card value of about £58, which is pretty hefty if you ask me. And this whole generation, weirdly, is roughly £1 more expensive than the most expensive Charizard Skyrush card from Generation 1. It just really blows my mind that you can either have the one Charizard card or 107 cards of the most expensive cards of all these other Pokemon. I don't know which one I would choose, honestly. What has been your favourite card from this generation? For me, it's a bit of a tough choice between the Lumion, as the art is really nice, and for me it's quite tangible that I could actually own that card, and maybe I'll go away and see how much I can get it for. I do also love the super clean model look of the Dialga. And then on the flip side, the Palkia and Arceus card, like I say, is one of my ultimate grails. So, I mean, it's probably going to be that one in the end, but the other two are running it super close. I love the fact that the Palkia and the Arceus card, it almost like it tells a story, like an ancient civilization carving out the statues of their gods, much like we see in our world from ancient Greek and the Roman temples, or the British Museum, which is where they're all kept anyway. So let's add Generation 4's total to our world's most expensive National Dex running total value. That kind of makes sense as a sentence. And it gives us a grand total for 4 generations of Pokemon of £73,438.42. I'm lost for words right now. £73,500 for Pokemon cards. Let's look at a little bit of perspective. You could get this lovely 2025 Audi Q7 3.0 TDI V6 50 Black Edition Tiptronic Quattro Euro 6 car from Five Oaks Audi here. Not a sponsor, just one of the top results I found when I was looking at Auto Trader. But just look at it. The wheels, the screen, the seats, these other car things. Beautiful. I'm sure to a car person this is really, really nice. But what are we taking here, guys? Are we taking this top of the range, big expensive SUV car, or do we want the most expensive version of every Pokemon so far, generations 1 through 4? Yeah, move over, Audi. Give me that Charizard. Thank you for sticking around this long. If you have, I really, really appreciate it. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and let me know which Pokemon you're looking forward to in Generation 5. I'm also over on TikTok and Instagram and getting them up and running and trying out a few things there. Let me know what you think and drop me a follow over there. But next up, Generation 5.